Ethan was the kind of person everyone admired. Tall, confident, intelligent, and from a wealthy family. He had everything most people could only dream of. In school, he was popular. Teachers respected him, students wanted to be like him, and girls admired him. But Ethan had one flaw. He judged people too quickly. In the same school, there was a girl named Clara. Clara was the complete opposite of Ethan. She was quiet, always kept to herself, wore simple clothes, no makeup, no friends, no social life. Most students barely noticed her, and the ones who did often misunderstood her. Every day, Clara would sit at the back of the class, writing in her notebook, not talking, not laughing, just existing. Ethan noticed her too, but not in a good way. To him, Clara was weird. He didn't understand why someone would choose to be so quiet. Does she even have a life? He once joked to his friends. They laughed. Clara heard it, but she said nothing. Weeks turned into months, months turned into years, and nothing changed. Clara remained invisible. Ethan remained admired until one day, something unexpected happened. It was a rainy afternoon. School had just ended, and students were rushing home. Ethan, as usual, was heading to his car when he realized he had forgotten his phone in the classroom. Annoyed, he ran back inside. The school building was almost empty. The rain poured heavily outside. As Ethan approached the classroom, he heard something. A voice, soft but emotional. He stopped. The voice was coming from inside. Slowly, he moved closer and peeped through the door. And what he saw shocked him. It was Clara, standing alone, talking, but not to anyone. She was reading from a notebook, her voice trembling with emotion. Tears were running down her face. Ethan frowned. What is she doing? He whispered. Curious, he stayed. Listening, Clara took a deep breath and continued reading. Dear Mom, today marks 3 years since you left. I still don't understand why life had to take you away so early. Ethan froze. Clara's voice broke. But I promised you I would stay strong, even when it hurts, even when I feel alone, even when nobody sees me. Ethan's expression slowly changed. For everyone else, I'm just the quiet girl. But if only they knew I'm fighting battles every single day. At that moment, Ethan felt something he had never felt before. Guilt. Clara continued reading. Dad barely talks anymore. Ever since the accident, he hasn't been the same. And I really try to be strong for him. Ethan stepped back slightly. His heart started beating faster. All I do is study, write and pretend I'm okay. Because if I break, there will be no one left to hold things together. Clara closed the notebook slowly. Then she wiped her tears. Ethan quickly moved away from the door before she noticed him. For the first time in years, Ethan didn't feel superior. He felt small. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. Clara's words kept replaying in his head, fighting battles every single day. He thought about all the times he laughed at her, all the times he ignored her, all the times he judged her without knowing anything. And for the first time, Ethan realized something. He didn't know Clara at all. The next day at school, everything felt different. Ethan entered the classroom and looked at Clara. She was in her usual spot, quiet, writing like nothing had ever happened. But now Ethan saw her differently. He hesitated, then slowly he walked toward her. Clara noticed him approaching. Her heart skipped. Ethan had never spoken to her before. "Hey," Ethan said awkwardly. Clara looked up, confused. "Hi." Ethan scratched his head. I just wanted to say, do you need help with anything?" Clara blinked, surprised. "No, I'm okay." Ethan nodded, but he didn't leave. An awkward silence followed. Then Clara spoke again. "Why are you talking to me?" The question hit Ethan hard. He didn't have an answer, not a good one. "I just thought maybe we could be friends," he said. Clara studied his face carefully, as if trying to understand his intentions. Then she gave a small smile. "Okay." And just like that, something began. Days passed, then weeks. Ethan started sitting with Clara, talking to her, helping her with assignments, listening, and slowly he began to discover who she really was. Clara was not weird. She was not boring. She was not invisible. She was intelligent, creative, strong, and incredibly kind. She loved writing stories. She dreamed of becoming an author. She had a beautiful way of seeing the world. And the more Ethan got to know her, the more he realized something painful. He had been wrong about her all along. One evening, as they walked home together, Ethan asked, "Why didn't you ever talk to anyone?" Clara smiled softly. "I tried once." "What happened?" "They didn't listen." Ethan felt a sharp pain in his chest. "I'm sorry," he said quietly. Clara looked at him. "For what?" "For not seeing you sooner." Clara didn't respond immediately. Then she said something Ethan would never forget. "Sometimes people only see what they want to see." Months passed. Ethan and Clara became close. Very close. But just when everything seemed to be going well, life took another turn. One day, Clara didn't come to school. Ethan thought maybe she was sick. The next day, she still didn't come. Then a week passed. No Clara. Ethan became worried. He decided to visit her house. When he got there, he noticed something strange. The house was quiet. Too quiet. He knocked. No answer. He knocked again. Still nothing. Then a neighbor approached him. "Are you looking for Clara?" the woman asked. "Yes, I'm her friend." The woman sighed. "You didn't hear?" Ethan's heart dropped. "Hear what?" The woman looked at him with sympathy. "Clara has been in the hospital." Ethan froze. "What happened?" "She collapsed a week ago. They say she's been sick for a long time. She just never told anyone." Ethan felt like the ground disappeared beneath him. He rushed to the hospital immediately. When he got there, he saw Clara lying on a hospital bed, weak, pale, connected to machines. Ethan couldn't believe his eyes. This was the same girl who smiled quietly every day. The same girl who said she was okay. He walked closer. "Clara," he whispered. Her eyes slowly opened. She saw him and smiled. "You came." Tears filled Ethan's eyes. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked. Clara looked away. "I didn't want anyone to worry." Ethan shook his head. "You were going through all this alone?" Clara's voice was soft. "I'm used to it." That answer broke him. Days later, Ethan received the news he feared the most. Clara's condition had worsened. Doctors said there was nothing more they could do. Ethan stayed by her side every single day, talking to her, reading her stories, holding her hand. One evening, Clara looked at him and said, "Ethan, can you promise me something? Anything. Don't wait too long to see people. Sometimes time runs out." Ethan couldn't speak. He just nodded. That night, Clara closed her eyes and never opened them again. Ethan was never the same. He changed completely. He became kinder, more patient, more understanding, and years later, Ethan did something unexpected. He published a book, not his own story, Clara's. Every word she had ever written, every emotion she had ever felt. The book became a success, but for Ethan, it wasn't about fame. It was about something else. It was about making sure the quiet girl the world ignored would never be forgotten.